What's happening?
My son, who has an impeccable record and was brought up to have a clear conscience before God and man, you are pushing him into a guard the car, arresting him, and with the view to incarcerating him, to incarcerate him in Mountjoy prison. In Mountjoy prison.
No, I've done nothing wrong.
Please get into the car.
No, I've done nothing wrong.
This is horrendous.
I've done nothing wrong.
This is horrendous.
I've done nothing wrong.
This is horrendous what's happening. This is horrendous what's happening.
Security guards, well paid to protect this school from Christian belief. Absolutely horrendous what has happened here today. Enoch Burke, my son, arrested, an impeccable record, upright citizen, genuine, honest, good conscience before God and man, taken here, incarcerated, to be incarcerated in Mountjoy by two Garda Síochána, pushed into a guard van, of course under the direction of corrupt judiciary, who are simply robbing him now of his constitutional rights. And those constitutional rights are something the judges should be protecting. But sadly to say, they're robbing him of his constitutional right to a Christian belief. And this should never have happened. It's a sad day in our country. This should never have happened. My son has done nothing wrong. He said no when Principal Niamh McShane, who is now down in Cork, Bantry, or Bandon, or wherever she is, who is now down there, she commanded him to use the they pronoun, something she, as the principal of this school, had absolutely no right to do. She said, it is expected of you that you use a they pronoun. A human being is a man or a woman. That's the Christian belief. That is the Christian belief. You're not a they. One person is not a they. We are going insane in this country. And this, of course, as Enoch Burke himself has said, is all happening because of the silence of the church, the betrayal of the Church of Ireland to its very own ethos, to its very own Christian belief. And of course, the big betrayal of the Catholic Church, the biggest denomination in Ireland, who stands in the shadows, is silent. The Archbishop Eamon Martin, the bishops, the archbishops, the priests, the nuns, they're silent. And of course, Norma Foley said last year, when she was put to it, she said they signed off on it, the Catholic Church. They signed off on it. Much consultation, written, oral. They signed off on it when all was said and done. When the talks were had, yes, they signed off. They've betrayed our children.
Yes.
They've betrayed. It's not the first time. It's not the first time. We've had the abuse. We've had the Magdalen laundries. We've had the sexual abuse, the institutions, and they hid it. They hid it till they were found out. And the popes and the bishops hid it. And they closed their eyes to it. And they moved them to different parts. And it's happening again. It's happening, and they're silent. And they've got their middlemen. They've got their John McGurks and their Brenda Powers and their Ione and others. Please don't be deceived. And the Irish Hanlon, don't be deceived by these groups, the middlemen. Don't let the middlemen silence you. Don't let them soften it for you. Where are the archbishops and the bishops and the priests? We went to Eamon Martin, and he said he has lay people. They're the lay people. And they're telling you they're against it, and that Enoch Burke isn't doing it the right way. But how are they doing it? When now for years, this is the third, the fourth year this is going on. How is John McGurk doing it? He's leading you astray. Don't be listening to this waffle from John McGurk and Brenda Power and the likes of them.
Indeed.
You need to stand up for your sons and daughters and say no to anti-Christian ideology. Your children are being destroyed. Their minds are being polluted. They don't want it themselves. I know all about it. I've talked to them. They don't want it's being imposed upon them. It's pushed upon them in the schools. And the courts and the government and the church has made an agreement.
Yes,
and you need to stand
they have.
against it. You need to stand against it. It's here
Yes.
now in our day. You know, you can talk back to what happened in the 80s and the 90s. But it's here now. What are
Yes.
you going to do? I would encourage you to stand up, speak out. Speak out against the church when it's opposed to the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Every man will give an account of himself to God. Speak out against the church and the Protestant church and the Catholic church. Speak out against it and say no when it's opposing, by its very silence, it's opposing the clear teaching of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's Christian belief. Stand up for your sons and your daughters. And my son is now taken off to prison.
Yes.
He's taken off to prison. Where are all the others? Where are the people? Where are the Christians in our land who will say, no, this is simply wrong?
Yes, and we had Enoch Burke, and he was an excellent teacher, a man of integrity. And we had his character slandered last week by a High Court judge. And we heard there that the courts and the church and the government have made an agreement together.
Yes,
and that
have.
is
Yes,
true.
they have.
They have made an agreement. They have signed the agreement. They have accepted this monstrosity. And we saw last week when nothing else could be done, we saw the awful spectacle of a High Court judge resorting to slander
Brian Cregan, yes.
Brian Cregan
Yes.
against Enoch Burke, an upstanding man, a man
Trumped
who
up charges, lies.
yes,
Lies
a
against
man
his
who
character.
served this school with distinction and was well loved by his students.
Yeah.
Calling him a menace and a threat. No evidence whatsoever of anything, of any sort of that. But
Lies, bully boy tactics, that he's roaming the corridors. Lies.
Yes.
Lies, Judge Cregan, and you know it.
yes, but of
Sadly
course
to
he
say.
had to resort to that in order to justify what we've seen now, the arm of the law. You know, the Gardaí who should be protecting this country from crime being brought in to bring a man now back to Mountjoy prison.
That's his job. That's the job of Judge Brian Cregan, to protect our constitutional rights. He didn't give them to us. None of the judges gave us those rights. They have a job sitting on that bench to protect those rights,
Yes.
to be impartial, to be a separate power to protect our rights. They're not doing that now. So they resort to bully boy tactics and lies. What a sad day. But the truth will win out simply because there is a God. There is a God and there is truth. There is truth.